and it looks like an absolute bloody frizzball. I haven't put any oil in it. I only do it in the morning, really. Kind of just try and tame it somehow. And of course, as a complete noob, I have totally forgot to put the actual microphone in. So let's do that quickly. And hopefully it will give us a bit better audio than what's on the doofer. Doesn't seem to want to connect. Do you know what? I had this out earlier on and I was using it on the other channel and I was out in the rain, so there's every chance it might not connect. Oh no, we have a connection. Now I just need to know whether anyone can bloody hear me. Which I won't know until anyone flipping joins. So there you go. Right, so what we're doing today is, I'm going to start without you. We are opening the Y pie. Officially, it's not ready until tomorrow. But, you know, a day here or there, a week here or there, doesn't really matter. It's been a bottle now for a month. So we're going to give it a live pour, give it a taste. And yeah, see what we think of it. So this is the white piment. So it's a piment using green grapes as opposed to red grapes. You know what's always bothered me as well? Red grapes are purple and white wine comes from green grapes. Just sort of annoys me a little bit. Okay, so that's that poured. I mean, it was pretty clear anyway, to be honest. There wasn't really any sediments or anything like that in there. Let's get it in the glass. Hope you can see what I'm doing. Kind of poured it off camera then. But here we have my piment. So using grape juice, we create a mead, honey wine, using grape juice instead of water. I prefer the red wine one, or red grape, should I say. I find the red grape one a little bit more flavoursome. But yeah, that's not bad. It's got nice clarity. Not to say I made that in my kitchen. That doesn't look too shabby at all, does it? To be fair, I haven't brought it in early enough. It is a little bit cool. As it warms up, it'll probably taste better. It's nice and sweet. We've got 11.3% ABV. And this was a gallon batch, I believe. So there was probably 4 gallons of it. Hello, Julie. How are you doing? I hope you're good. Just live pouring some mead that I've made, which is a honey wine, fermented honey, water, and it, sorry, no, not water. Instead of using water, it actually uses a grape juice, this one. It's called a piment, and this one is a white piment, which comes from green grapes. You can get a red piment, which comes from your purple grapes. I'm glad you're good. That's marvellous to know. What has everybody been up to? What is everybody drinking? Does anybody have a beer tonight, or a glass of wine, or anything like that? I do apologise. I've put this on my tripod, but it might be a little bit too high. I'm not sure. But there's the Fermented World logo right here. And this is the exact thing that I took a picture of and then ran it through some random app. I can't remember what it was called now. The app. and it just phased it all out and made it all a bit magical. But yeah, that is not too shabby at all. Off the top of my head, I think it used about 2 kilograms of grapes, maybe 3. No, maybe 900 grams of grapes. Do you know what? I'm terrible for keeping tabs on what's actually supposed to be. My brain doesn't work most of the time. It's probably because of things like this. But yeah, it's not too bad. I do prefer the red pyment better. And one of my subscribers, Ray Finkel, helped me name this. He came up with the name called Wi-Pi, as in like Wi-Fi, and then I came up with Wi-Pi signal lost. Only because of what he'd said. So yeah, nice one to what he'd said. And yeah, it's not too shabby at all. Like I say, it's only 11.3%, so it's not all that strong in the grand scheme of things. Just brewed in my kitchen. Really, really simple. I got some grapes. I crushed the grapes. I took the juice, put it into a fermenter, added some yeast, added a bit of honey, and then there you go. Probably 2 months later, and we're drinking it. It can take about 2 weeks to ferment, and then in the stage where you put the stoppers in, it can take up to another 2 weeks for it all to clear out and things like that, all the yeast to drop out to the bottom. And then I normally leave it for about a month. So I'd say within 2 months, you've got yourself some mead. But that's the way I do it. Other people do it differently, and that's totally fine. You know, you do you. If you've got your own little way of doing it, that's fantastic. Do share your information. You know, if you do it differently, feel free to put a comment on any of my posts, any of my videos. I like to know how other people do things. Now, I do know that there's a couple of people that are like veterans. I'll mention their names. Brian and Derica from City Steadings. Now, those two people got me on a whirlwind of adventure, brewing my own beverages. It was just, yeah, it was out of this world. Like I'd sit there, watch their videos like religiously, and I'd be like, oh yeah, I could do that. And then one day I just thought, you know what, I'm gonna do it. And I started, and I did it, and it was just flipping brilliant. Hello. Say 6-7 again, and you're gone. we don't roll like that. Hello. How are you? Golden Please mod gift me. No one's getting no mods, mate. Nah. Never in a month of Sundays am I giving anybody any mods. You've got more chance of catching the Pope shit in the woods, which isn't going to happen anytime soon. But cheers, brother. Nice try. If you don't ask, you don't get. So I've got loads in the pipeline. There are 3 different ciders to get bottled. I've got a bottle of beer tomorrow, which people voted for, which is the Smash. How are you, man? Yeah, I'm good. Goldener. Am I saying that right? Goldener? Yes, mate, I am good. How are you? Rock on, brother. Oolpool has subscribed. Well, thank you very much, man. Much appreciated. Man or lady, whichever one you are. Laters, taters. Take it easy. Adios. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Yeah, so I've got 3 meads. Sorry, 3 ciders, 2 beers. What else we got going? I'm sure there's 4 different meads. Let me see if I can remember them. We've got a chili mead. We got a... Oh, what's the other one? We've got a traditional. We've got a... Oh, there's one that's got loads of different things in. It's got ginger, like my beard, ginger, coconut, lychee, peach, and lemongrass. It's absolutely, it's going to be off the charts. And it was inspired by a Vault City Brewery beer. I'm not sure if you're into your sour beers, but if you are and you live in the UK, Vault City Brewery from Scotland, mate, absolutely top notch. Well, if you're 8, then you shouldn't be able to access my thing, unless your parents haven't put your parental responsibility things on. But you're welcome here, dude. We're not doing anything that we shouldn't be, so stay or leave. All I'm doing is sitting, drinking some alcohol and talking shit about alcohol. And then maybe swearing, so just be aware of that. But yeah, this is really, really nice. It seems a bit sweeter than I remembered, if I'm honest. Oh, flipping hairs, man. Just burdened by hairs. Obviously, I've got long hair, I've got a beard, I've got a dog, I've got kids, you know, there's just hair everywhere. Pardon me. But yeah, we're going to sit through this, and then I'll be gone. Let's put the lid back on that. So I brew it by the gallon, British gallon. It's roughly get about 4.5 gallons. Start again. Roughly get 4.5 litres per gallon. Good for you, dude. Have fun. But anywho, yeah, it's rather sweet. I think it masks a little bit of the grapes. I'm not sure whether I added too much honey to this one. I often trip out and when I'm not paying attention and stuff, and you know, maybe I add a little bit too much, but it's okay. Can't really get a great deal of grape, just get this sweet alcohol-y kind of flavour, if that makes sense. Which ain't too bad. I mean, it's crystal clear. Oh, there's a couple of floaty bits in it where I've been a bit greedy and tried to pour a bit too much out of the bottle. But that won't hurt me. Because I'm hard as nails. But yeah, got loads of things in the pipeline. Got a couple more beers coming up. What we got? Well, there's a Baltic Porter, but I'm waiting for that because I need a cold environment for it. I haven't currently got a cold environment where I can actually put the Baltic Porter into a fermentation. Now, normally I'd have a brewing fridge, a beer fridge, where I'd actually brew inside the fridge with a heat mat and something called an ink bird. And what it does is it regulates the temperature for you. It does it kind of automatically. But that broke. The fridge did. The fridge just completely gave up. So that's that. So I'm waiting for the colder weather to do the Baltic Porter. But let me have a quick butcher's at my recipe book. I do have a couple of them lined up, ready to rock and roll. I might have already gone through these last time I was live, you know. I might have done, but if not, we'll just go through them again. That's not them. Oh, here we are. So I'm not sure where the voting's at the moment, but we've got the triple IPA, which is going to be my first triple IPA, well, my first deliberate triple IPA. Then there's Clone Welshman, which is me trying to recreate Tiny Rebel's Kutch, which is a Welsh red ale, and it's absolutely fantastic. That's what that is. That's Yeasty Boys digital IPA, which I got out of a craft beer recipe book, which I will show you, because if you want to brew that beer, you're going to need to buy this book, craft beer book. The recipe for the Yeasty Boys digital IPA is in there, so I won't be sharing the recipe for that because it's not my beer. I'll show you how it's brewed, but I'm not going to go into details as to what the recipe's got because it's not actually my recipe. I won't share it unless it's mine. We've got the Baltic Porter, which I'm going to be waiting for the colder weather for, and then we've got the Bifrost West Coast IPA, which is my recipe. I entered this into a competition 2 years ago, and it did really well. It got through to the first group of finalists, but then because it was using something that's a bit of a specialist ingredient with the tea mix, they kind of put it on the side, and I'm a bit gutted about it, to be honest, because it's such a fantastic beer. Now there is actually a hello fellow Brit, hello Cassie, what's up Ray? 13 people in here. Yeah, a minute ago, I was just talking to myself a minute ago, just rambling on for the people that might come and watch this later on, but I'm not sure where the voting's at, Ray. But I'm just talking about the Bifrost that I entered into that homebrew competition, and it did really well. Now, it's actually a clone of one of my favourite beers, or from one of my favourite breweries as well. So it's yeah, I'm not going to go into what it is now, but it's quite a simple malt bill. It's more of the hops is what defines it, and then it's the tea mix as well. So let me try and remember what's in this tea mix. So the actual beer is called Rainbow Tea, but the tea mix that goes in it, it's got Earl Grey tea, bergamot is it pronounced or whatever. It's got saffron, rose petals, cornflower petals, and sunflower petals. So it's like an explosion of floral flavours mixed in with a back note of tea. It's flipping amazing. It really is. And I'm not gonna. I'm not trying to blow my own trumpet, but I am very surprised it didn't win. Because the scorecard that I got was absolutely flipping awesome. Yeah, nice one, Ray. How you doing, buddy? I hope you're good, man. My brother from another mother, on another island somewhere as well, aren't you, brother? But yeah, I'm not sure what's winning at the moment. Last time I looked, the two contenders were the Bifrost and Clone Welshman. They were the ones that people had voted for. Secretly, I'm kind of hoping it's Bifrost that everyone votes for, but don't let that sway your vote. If you want to see a Welsh Red clone, because I've done this clone before of the Bifrost, which is the one with the tea mix, and I know it works. I'm going to tweak it again. I think I've added the tweak to it, actually. Let me just have a look. Yeah, I've reduced the amount of tea mix in it. So this will be version 3 of it that I've done. The first one, I didn't put enough tea mix in. The second one, it had way too much. It was just too in your face. And then this third one's going to have a reduction of 75 grams. So we'll see where it's at. So the first one had 50 grams. The second one had 200 grams. I know that's a big jump. And then this one's going to have 120 grams. Hi, pretty girl with a beard. Hello, dude. How you doing? What's popping? I'm assuming that's Kieran or Kyron. How you doing, brother? I hope you're good, man. Feel like a girl sometimes with these flipping man boobs, mate. Bloody hell. But yeah, this is the other clone that I'm going to put together. I tried to clone Newcastle Brown a while ago, and it came out tasting more like Theakston's Old Peculiar. So that was a bit random, but I think I kind of got an idea of what's going to go into this. But we'll see. We'll see what we get. Mainly, it's going to be down to the hops. The hops is what defines a beer, in my opinion. You know? But we'll see what happens with that. I've got a couple of bookmarks here as well of ones that I want to try. Here's one. Brew by Numbers, which is an English brewery. They got a citrus saison. I think that could be quite good, a citrus saison. Now, saisons are normally a bit random. They're not to everybody's taste because of the type of flavour that the yeast gives off. But I think that could be good. Not too bothered about that one now. And this one caught my attention as well. Obviously, I can't share the recipes when I brew these, but, well, I could, but that would be a dick move, and it's not about that, is it? So this is an espresso dark coffee beer. I think that would be flipping awesome. Yeah. And that is by Dark Star Brewing Company. Now, I haven't actually bookmarked anything else. No. But the barley wine is still sat there chilling out. That's got another, must be another month and a half before the 3-month mark. We'll see what's cracking on that. I mean, it should taste good. I expect it to taste good. When I tried one earlier than I should, the day after, I had a flipping headache, man. Like, this thing's strong. It's like 10 point something %. It's the first barley wine that I've done. It tasted really, really good, but so say if you pour yourself a beer, into a 500ml glass or whatever. I was like a third into this, and I was already there going. It's strong, man. Barley wine is strong. It's not one of them that you're going to be sat there sessioning. Hell to the no. No. One of them, and you're pretty much done for the night, I reckon. Yeah, might as well say good night. If you're still there, Ray, this is the Y-Pie, which you helped me name. Y-Pie, Signal Lost. It's all right, mate. It is good. It seems a bit sweet, though. I'm not sure why the grape's not coming through all that much. I might have oversweetened it, dude. But I don't know. What I do know is I've probably got to bottle the Citrus Smash tomorrow. Which is not a bother. The sooner it's bottled, the sooner you can bloody well drink it. Says I. I want to have a quick look through this, actually. Pardon me. Some of the... Now, what I should do, right, is I should read through all this equipment things, because I always assume I know what I'm doing, but sometimes I don't, you know? Sometimes you'll just get an idea and I'll just slap it together, and, you know, it could be shite, it could be great. Most of the time it works. Oh, that sounds bloody good. An Imperial Raspberry Sour Wit Beer. I do like wheat beers, to be fair. 9%, by an American company called Brewery Turox. I don't flipping know how you pronounce that. Orange County, California. Oh, yeah, let's not kick the flipping thing over. How the flipping hell do you pronounce that? It's not even in English. Brewery Turex. Turex? No idea, man. Orange County, that one's from America. What grains it got? Wyman Pills malt. Great Western unmalted wheat. Unmalted wheat? Unmalted wheat? What is unmalted wheat? Why would you have it unmalted? I'm sure it has to be malted to release the to create the starches inside it, isn't it? Okay, that's baffled me. You see what I mean? I think I know what I'm on about, but sometimes I don't. I'm happy to admit that as well. That's interesting. I need to find out what unmalted wheat is now, unless anybody can tell me what it is. Oh, sodding pens, man. Kids, I'm telling you. Pens are like gold dust. Actually, that's a good point. Guys, it's time for bed. Get your teeth done, please. I know you heard me. Don't pretend you didn't. Unmalted. Unmalted wheat. I'm just going to put unmalted grain. And then I might come back to the wheat part of it. It might just be the wheat malt that's not actually malted. Why would you not malt it? Because they malt it to make it burst into life, and then they then heat it up to a certain point, which then stops it, which retains all the energy inside of it. What's up, random person? How you doing? I'm just randomly looking through this flipping craft beer recipe book. I got Brooklyn Brewery, which they're an amazing brewery. You know, we get their ales and beers over here. They've recently upped their market as well. They've actually been doing like more of craft range, what we class as craft range, over here in the supermarkets as well, which is really, really cool, man. Hello, Lions. How you doing? So it looks like, do you know what? That's actually the beer that we get as well. Sriracha Ace. We get that in our supermarkets. And I've got a flipping recipe for it. I think I'm going to brew that. What yeast does it use? Yeah, it's using two companies that I'm not sure of. I've heard of White Labs before. Oh, it goes for a Trappist ale yeast. Or a Belgian yeast. Why isn't it using a Saison yeast? A relatively recent addition to the Brooklyn gang is Sriracha Ace, a classic Belgian farmhouse ale from New York with a New York accent. Traditionally, saisons were made from hard-working agricultural workers in the countryside, with the Wallonia region, with the fairly tight selection of ingredients, European malts and grains, low alpha acid noble hops. But they're great fun to brew because they can cozy up with all sorts of hops and flavourings. Pardon me. This 21st century reimagination uses only one hops, which is obviously Sriracha Ace, which is why it's called that. The Northwest of the Japan Sriracha Ace, which provides a flowery, lemony character. you won't get anywhere else. And the technique of this recipe is great evidence of the way that staggered deployment throughout the boil can draw out real range of flavours, from bitterness through flavour to aroma. An essential element of a saison is Belgian yeast. Yeah, but normally they'd use a specific saison yeast, would they not? Which makes it presence known through fruity, spicy, and ester. Yes, you get that. You get that spicy note from a saison. The results is straw-coloured, refreshingly carbonated, food friendly, sorry, and supremely thirst quenching. Ploughing fields will be a breeze after a couple of these. Mind you, it's 7.2% as well, so that's actually got a bit of kick. What's up, Snorking? How you doing, dude? Or dudette? Whatever you are. Right, let's have one more and I'll read out what it is. That's a low ABV one. But okay, it's a German beer. Now, the Germans and the Belgians, they know what they're doing when it comes to beer. There's no doubt about it. They flipping mastered it early on. Pardon me. And everyone else just followed suit and then started messing about with things. So this is a Berliner Weiss beer. Now, this is quite a low ABV, which I'm surprised of. A Berliner, isn't that normally like fruited? Hold on, let me just have a double check here what's going on. When I did a Berliner, it was a fruit sour wheat beer. Sorry, bear with me. No, it doesn't say anything. Split border water and separate thing pitch. No, it's not saying anything about fruit in this particularly. Brewing in Germany has a uniquely regulated history. Yeah, because they had the Bavarian laws, didn't they? Bavarian brewery laws, where it was only allowed 3 ingredients: malt, hops, and water. No. Malt, hops, yeast, and water. So 4 ingredients, because you have to have water. Medieval Rinnehastenbot. Probably butchered that, sorry if anyone's German. Purity laws are not enforced now, but the industry remains regionalized. Bloody hell. Salty Goes is brewed in Leipzig. Altbier in Lower Rhine. I can't pronounce these names of these places in Germany. I'm sorry. However, it's an innovative little brewery in Cologne that makes beer with reverence for the past and forward-looking attitude. From its experimental offshoots with Freigeist, free spirit, which is what this beer here is, comes this modern take on a Berliner Weiss. So okay, modern take. So that's might be why it's not got the fruit in. But I thought a Weiss had fruit in. I genuinely thought it did. And easy on the hops. This version replaces the traditional wheat with spelt malt. What's spelt malt? Bloody hell. So you're always learning, man. What is spelt malt? That's why I love these things, because it's just, you're forever learning. And it has, yeah, it's got, like, it's nearly half and half. It's got over 1 kilogram of Pilsner malt, but then it's got over 1 kilogram of spelt malt as well. But these are for bigger batches than what I do. These are nearly double what I do. The technique here are fairly advanced, Make a starter with a lacto before pitching, which is what gives you your sour flavour. I assume lacto is like something that's going to produce lactobacteriitis or whatever it's flipping called. I'm not sure. The wort pH should be less than 4.5 to ensure the optimum conditions for its development. You'll need to maintain a high temperature while it ferments. 2. Wort splitting is not a traditional method, but it makes the results more predictable and still tastes great. The star responds positively to fruity additions, and it also ages well in bottles. Okay, so a Berliner Weiss was actually not meant to be with fruit to begin with, but it's saying that obviously it works well with. Well, don't you just learn something new every day? Right then, ladies and gentlemen, I am Offskis. I have just got one more mouthful of this to do. And it is time to push off. Ray, thanks for joining me. Snorkel, if you're still here, thank you. Lines, random person, and everybody else who joined and said hello. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Yeah, peace out, Ray. You take it easy, brother. Do let me know when you're doing a live on your other channel, which is called Tailgate Tintype. Go check this dude out. He's got some amazing vintage kit. He literally takes a photo and then puts it onto a piece of tin. Some old school stuff. It makes the photo look absolutely fantastic. You just can't even imagine how rustic and raw it makes the photo look. It's better than black and white. You know, like you get the old black and white photos that add depth to this and shows more shadows. This is better. It's flipping better. Yeah, man. I mean, if you've got Instagram, that'd be a great way to let me know that you're going to do it. Or just drop me a message on one of the channels. Now, I'm normally on the Walk Cook Walk channel. I'm normally signed into that one. But I do pop back to this one every now and again to see what's popping when I've got something to do on it. Do you know what I mean? But yeah. Let me know if you're going to do it live, dude. I'd love to get on that and watch you do it live. That'd be absolutely flipping amazing. Take it easy, brother. See you later. Rock on.